All right, this is our it's our fourth attempt, eh?
Take 4.
Take 4. All right, welcome everybody to our home here in Umhloti. We're delighted to be able to take a few minutes out of your time to share what's going on in our lives. And we've been in ministry for well over 40 years now, church leadership for 40 years and more. And we've had a wonderful, wonderful experience and retired from Grace Family Church. Still members there, still participating there, but we've started our own thing.
It's a new season for us, and I'm really excited and looking forward to seeing what God might do in our retired lives.
That's right. I used to consider the word retire a swear word.
Well, I remember those years. I wasn't allowed to mention it. You were going to work flat out till you were 87, right?
87's the
That
number.
was your chosen day.
So having retired from Grace, we've started a little non-profit company called The Generative Way. And really it's an evolution of something that has been going on in my life and I think in our lives for the last 4 or 5 years about being human. And the word generative comes from the word Genesis. In the book of Genesis we see the origin, the beginning of our world, of humanity, and we see God creates this space and He creates us as human beings to have a connection with Him, to be connected to each other, and to be connected to some generative purpose, or another word for generative is to flourish. As we think about our future and the ministry that God's got for us, the service that He has for us, we think it's in the area of, for ourselves, learning to flourish.
Definitely, I think for me that's been a very fresh and exciting idea, that when you go through what we've gone through in terms of a change of season, that you actually have an expectation to flourish and to do well, not to sort of taper off and become, you know, less alive and less productive than before. No.
We've realized that if we're going to flourish, part of that journey is to help other people flourish as well.
Absolutely, it's part of flourishing.
And that's why we've started this thing called The Generative Way. And you can see The Generative Way here, you can see it over here, you can see it over here, over here, over here.
Everywhere. You know, Mark, I love the word generative.
Yeah.
When we first started looking at it a little closer, the words that came to my mind: creating space for others to be alive, creating space for others to grow and to flourish. So it's what you have yourself, you generate in others. And it's a wonderful thing to look at your life and think of your day as, let this be a generative day. Let me bring life to someone today.
And the big spin on the word is that when you do that, you come alive.
Yeah.
It's kind of
It's the kingdom.
It's the cycle thing, absolutely.
That's the generative way. But what does that actually look like, Mark? What are some of the things you see, the sort of projects that you envisage actually happening on the ground?
Yeah, I think, you know, as Christine asks that question, we are in an evolutionary process. We are figuring this ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's part of what we want to do, is help people figure their stages of life and have conversations that will help people, will give them tools to kind of navigate these things. We're not really going to be counselors.
It's a kind of a form of coaching that we're hoping to do.
That's a great word. Counseling is, you know, helping you to find healing in a lot of stuff. Whereas coaching is kind of helping you to take directions, to make decisions, and how we make decisions. So we want to do that. We want to do that sort of one-on-one. The other aspect about that is to have guided conversations with teams, maybe church teams or business teams or teams that work together. So the other thing, which is kind of my passion, and we haven't spoken a lot about it, is the idea of preaching or content. And you know, with preaching opportunities open for us, we'll do those.
You will do those.
Yeah, that's right. But if they don't, we will share online. You know, we'll kind of use Instagram and YouTube as our mediums to...
Yeah, you've had a lot of fun over the last 2 years mastering all those techniques, hours in your office. I think it's part of who we are now.
Absolutely. So that's another exciting aspect. And then finally, Christine, we want to partner with social justice issues. We really feel that's part and parcel of who we are in South Africa.
In our hearts, yeah.
But having said all of that, and part of what we want to share in this video today is that the thing that we are going to do as well, and this is when we're going to do this together quite a lot.
This is a together thing.
That's right. And what is it?
We are going to do, what are the words you've been using? A marriage course.
Yeah, marriage seminar, marriage
seminar, marriage conversations, marriage.
So what it's going to consist of is this. We will invite people, preferably who've been married 14 to 15 years, people who's got adult children or teenage children, suffered through COVID, your relationship hasn't flourished necessarily through COVID. And Christina went through a season in our lives where our marriage wasn't exactly flourishing, and we went through a process that we call Marriage Works, and that really kind of reset us to I think, have a fantastic marriage. Not an easy marriage. I've been wrong a few times. I mean, I know that. It's hard for me to even admit that. But,
very few, honey.
And the way it's going to work is this. We're going to invite 3 other couples, it's going to be ourselves and 3 other couples, to our home to share a meal together and to have conversations. We have guided conversations. We know we want to go with these conversations, but it's going to be fairly intimate. It's going to be for 4 weeks in our home. We're going to share a meal. There is a cost to it, but we'll get into that a bit later on. So if you're interested, you can direct message us, or you can email me, markvanstrand@mac.com, and we'll see. You know, like I say, preferably people been married for 14 or 15 years or longer, and we'll see if there's a big demand, whether we'll translate it into a bigger seminar at some point, but for the time being, that's what we want to do.
Round about when, Mark? What are you thinking?
It's after Easter, it's after all the holidays in Easter, and it'll run the last week in April and the first 3 weeks in May. Alright folks, that's it from us. Thanks for watching, thanks for taking time.
Yes.
If you are interested, direct message me or email us, and we'll get back to you about more details on any one of those things. If you feel you need to be you'd like to have conversations of coaching, or you'd like to be part of this marriage seminar, we're happy to at least engage in a conversation and see if we're the right people to help you.
Yes. And do pray for us too, as we navigate this journey.
Please do.
Thank you.
Okay, God bless you.
Bye.